kind act changes everything. Helping a stranger leads to love and success. Rain soaked Isabella Morales' thin cardigan as she stood on Paseo de Gracia's busy sidewalk, arm up, chasing yellow taxis. They zipped by, splashing cobblestones, ignoring her. "Vamos, please," she muttered, glancing at her watch. 8:27 a.m., half an hour. That's all she had to reach Velasco Tech in Barcelona's heart. Her shot at a dream job, an assistant role at a tech giant. A black sedan slowed near the curb. She stepped forward, hopeful. Then a suited man slipped in first. She sighed, frustrated, checking her phone. No ride apps had cars close. The metro was too risky now. Are you serious?" she groaned, heart thumping as time bled away. She eyed a bus stop down the street, ready to sprint. Then chaos broke her focus. A man in a gray suit stumbled against a lamppost, hand on his chest. Rain matted his dark hair, his sharp frame screaming wealth. But he swayed, fragile. Then he crumpled. Isabella froze. People streamed past, busy, blind. Her bag strap dug into her shoulder. If she stopped, she'd miss it. Her interview, her break. The taxi she'd spotted rolled closer. She took a step toward it, then heard his faint, pained gasp. She ran to him, kneeling on wet stone. "Senor, you hear me?" His breath rasped, shallow. Sweat beaded his forehead despite the chill. Green eyes flickered, sharp jaw tight with strain. "Ayuda," he whispered. "Help," she echoed, grabbing his wrist. Pulse weak, but there. "You'll be fine," she said half to herself, dialing emergency. "Man, mid-30s, down on Paseo de Gracia near Casa Batlolo," she told the operator. "Weak, maybe his heart. Send an ambulance, fast." "On the way," they said. She exhaled, shaky. Couldn't leave yet. Her cardigan came off, tucked under his head against the cold. He blinked up, dazed, eyes piercing hers. "Leave me," he rasped. "No chance," she scoffed. The city hummed on, footsteps, horns. Her mind screamed, "Run, you can still make it." But his pulse thumped under her fingers, faint, steady. She stayed. Sirens cut through. An ambulance screeched up, lights flashing. Paramedics leapt out. "He just dropped," she said, stepping back as they hoisted him onto a stretcher. "Heart, maybe," one nodded. "Good you stayed. Could have been bad." Relief hit, then dread. 8:56 and her interview was 5 minutes ago. She'd blown it. For a stranger. At Velasco Tech, she pleaded with the receptionist. "I know I'm late. I had an emergency. Can I see someone?" The woman dialed. "Mr. Velasco, Miss Morales missed her slot, but asked for a moment." A pause, then, "Understood." She hung up. "He'll give you a minute." Isabella followed her down a sleek hall to a stark office. Diego Velasco, HR head, sat behind a glass desk. Early 40s, crisp suit, all business. "Miss Morales," he said, nodding to a chair. "You missed it." She sat, steadying her breath. "Yes, sir. A man collapsed. I stayed till help came. I'm sorry, but I couldn't leave him." He tapped the desk, studying her. "Noble. But if you worked here, had a deadline, and chose a stranger over it, what then?" "I'd help," she said firm. "And I'd tell my team, find a fix." His face stayed blank. "This job's about trust. Our execs handle billions. An assistant who's late, that's millions lost." Her chest tightened. "So, that's it? I'm out because I did the right thing?" Velasco's eyes softened. Just a flicker. Hundreds applied. They all sacrificed to be here. You chose differently. It's not about morals. It's about this company. Humiliation sank in. "Thanks for your time," she whispered, standing. He nodded, already back to his screen. Isabella Morales stepped out of Velasco Tech, each footfall heavy with defeat. She'd pinned everything on this, years of dead-end jobs, night classes, juggling 2 gigs just to scrape by, all for a shot at something real. Now, back to nothing. The rain had stopped, but Barcelona's chill bit through her coat. She stared up at the sleek tower she'd dreamed of conquering, doubt creeping in. Was I wrong? Her hand hovered over her phone, job listings tempting her, when it buzzed. Unknown number. She hesitated, then picked up. Isabella Morales, a woman asked, voice crisp. Yeah? Belvidge Hospital. The man you helped this morning, he's awake. Wants to see you. Her breath snagged. She glanced back at Velasco Tech's glass facade, then ahead to the city's hum. The job was dust. But this? Curiosity tugged. She turned toward the hospital. Antiseptic stung her nose as she entered Belvidge, footsteps soft on shiny tiles. Nurses darted, doctors murmured. She barely noticed, zeroed on one goal. At the desk, she cleared her throat. Got a call. Man from Paseo de Gracia collapsed this morning? Mr. Torres, the receptionist said, checking notes. Room 412, right hall. Isabella nodded, pulse quickening as she walked. At the door, she paused. What was this? Gratitude? Curiosity? Trouble? She knocked, pushed in. Diego Torres sat up in bed, suit jacket gone, shirt sleeves rolled, IV trailing. Power clung to him, even here. His blue eyes snapped at her, sharp, steady. You came, he said, voice smooth, edged with control. She shrugged, stepping closer. You asked. He motioned to the chair beside him. Sit. She did, awkward in the sterile hush. Silence hung a beat. Then he spoke. You missed your interview for me. Yeah, she exhaled, leaning back. No regrets. His brows flicked up, surprised. Why? She met his gaze, firm. Life beats a job. I can chase another chance. You wouldn't get one. He studied her, quiet. Then a low chuckle broke out, warm, unexpected. Rare thinking, he murmured, easing against the pillows. She frowned. Really? Most walk by, he said, eyes darkening, like he'd seen it too often. You didn't. She shifted, his stare pinning her. Wasn't a choice, just happened. He tapped the blanket, thoughtful, then switched gears. Eaten yet? She blinked. Huh? Dinner, he said. To thank you. She eyed the IV. You allowed food? Out in hours, he smirked. Uncertainty flickered. She didn't know this man, but his presence pulled. Okay, she said. No collapsing again. Promise, he grinned. Something shifted. Her life tilting off its rails. Chandeliers glowed soft in Barcelona's ritziest spot. Marble floors, white tablecloths, waiters like ghosts. Isabella fidgeted, out of place in her damp coat. She'd pictured a quick bite, cafecito vibes, not this. Diego sat opposite, black suit sharp, hair tamed, radiating ease. She sipped water, dodging stares from posh diners. So, she tried, light. You spoil all your saviors like this? Nope, he said, smirk teasing. Just you. She laughed short. Lucky me? A waiter slid in with wine. Diego ordered for them, smooth as silk. Alone again, he leaned in. Before today, what was the plan? That interview? She paused, then laid it bare. Finance. Worked 2 jobs, took night classes, wanted to start small, climb up, build something solid. She shrugged, half smiling. Not fancy, just mine. He watched her still. You paid your way? Yeah, she nodded. No handouts, just grit. Silence, then casual as a bomb, he leaned back. If you'd made it this morning, you'd be working for me. She frowned. What? I'm Velasco Tech's CEO, he said, tilting his head. Her jaw dropped. The man she'd saved, the job she'd lost, him. Isabella Morales froze. The restaurant's golden glow fading as Diego's words sank in. I'm Velasco Tech's CEO. Her mind scrambled. Velasco Tech, her lost shot. This man she'd saved. You, she started, throat tight. You're him? Diego nodded, a glint of amusement in his blue eyes. Her stomach flipped. All day she'd mourned a ruined future. Now the one who could have hired her sat across her. She leaned back, exhaling hard. That's a lot. You impressed me today, he said, a voice steady. She laughed, sharp and short. Impressed? I thought I was unreliable. Missed your big interview. You chose something rarer, he countered, softening just a touch. Then he leaned in, firm. I'm offering you a job. Her pulse spiked. A job? Trial run, he said. No process, just you proving yourself. She stared, breath caught. This was it, her dream handed over. But doubt nagged. That's generous, she said, slow. But I don't want it because I was there when you fell. His smirk deepened, like he'd seen that coming. Not a favor, a challenge. Show you belong. Isabella stepped into Velasco Tech's buzzing lobby. Not a desperate applicant, but an intern with fire in her gut. Power suits and clipped strides surrounded her. She matched them, refusing to flinch. At the desk, a sleek woman glanced up. Miss Morales? She nodded. Mr. Torres expects you. Heart-thumping, she followed to Diego's office. Glass walls, dark wood, quiet power. He stood by the window, hands pocketed, city skyline sprawling below. He turned, eyes locking hers. She squared her shoulders, ready. The department hit hard. Interns, polished, pedigreed, sized her up, whispers sharp. CEO's pet project, one hissed. Merit, please, another scoffed. Isabella didn't blink. She'd fight for her place. Early mornings, late nights, extra work, she owned it. When a project needed financial projections, she raised her hand, knowing they'd bet on her flop. She didn't. In the conference room, her voice steady, she laid out numbers, crisp and clear. Silence followed, thick, heavy. Diego, at the table's end, smirked, nodded. Solid, Morales. Her chest sparked. First praise in weeks. The doubters shut up. Diego wasn't just a suit. Beyond the CEO's steel, he cared, sharp-eyed, relentless. He caught an analyst's error mid-meeting, pushed Isabella to solve her own stumbles. Frustrating. Electric. One night, office near empty, she passed his door, files stacked high. He looked up. Still here? Proving my spot, she said, holding them up. His gaze softened. Just a flicker. You already have. Professional, sure. But her pulse raced anyway. Diego Torres turned from the window as Isabella Morales stepped into his office. You're early, he said in voice low. She lifted her chin. Wanted to start right. A flicker of something, approval, crossed his face. He gestured to a chair. Sit. She sat, notebook tight in her grip, bracing for a stiff speech. Instead, he leaned against his desk, casual but sharp. What do you want from this, Isabella? She didn't flinch. To earn my place, no handouts. He studied her, then nodded. No one's cutting you slack here. Good, she said, meeting his gaze. He slid a folder across. 6 weeks, trial run, Excel. You stay, slip, you're out. She took it, fingers firm. You won't regret this. His lips twitched. Prove it. The department was a gauntlet. Interns, elite grads with pedigrees, watched her like hawks, whispers trailing. CEO's pick, one sneered. Luck, not skill, another jabbed. Isabella ignored them. She'd outrun worse. She dove in, early starts, late finishes, every task hers. When a multi-million-dollar deal crashed, she saw her shot. The conference room buzzed with panic, execs scrambling, voices tight. A key client had bailed, threatening chaos. Diego sat at the head, jaw clenched, eyes scanning for a fix. Isabella's heart raced. She shouldn't speak. Interns don't. But the idea hit too hard. What if we restructure? Silence slammed down. Every head swiveled. She swallowed, pulse hammering. Diego's gaze locked on her. Go on. She straightened. They're spooked by upfront risk. Switch to performance-based payouts. Less cash now, payoff later. They might bite. Skepticism rippled. We'd eat some risk, an exec snapped. Diego didn't blink. Numbers? She'd crunched them overnight. Instinct, not orders. We'd cover 10% initial loss, recoup double if it pans out. Client stays, we win. A beat. Then Diego nodded, sharp. Draft it, now. The room shifted, doubt lingered, but she'd cracked the ice. Work sharpened her and revealed him. Diego wasn't just steel, he lived the game. He'd spot a decimal off in a report, push her to wrestle answers herself. Maddening, thrilling. Then came the shift, small, dangerous. His glances in meetings lingered, keen, curious. Brief chats stretched, his voice softening just enough. Her pulse betrayed her every time he spoke. She shoved it down. He was her boss, her future's gatekeeper. No room for slips. But the hum grew louder, harder to bury. One night, office dim, she hauled reports past his door. He looked up, laptop glow on his face. Burning midnight oil? Earning my keep, she said, half smiling. He leaned back, eyes warm. You're past that. Her heart kicked. Professional, sure, but the air crackled anyway. Yes, Isabella Morales said, heart racing as exec stared. We take the risk, show faith in our numbers. If it works, we don't just save the deal, we lock the client tighter. Silence gripped the room. Diego Torres smirked from the head of the table. That's a damn good play. He turned to his team. Run the projections. If it holds, we pitch tonight. Isabella exhaled. Deal salvaged. Later, alone in the dim hall, Diego caught her. You impressed me, he said, a voice low. Just doing my job, she replied, pulse loud. He studied her, eyes piercing. I want you permanent. My executive assistant. She froze. Her dream earned. Real, but close to him? Risky. Yeah, she said anyway. Work sharp. Late nights, sharp glances, brushes in tight halls sparking heat. She caught his looks, keen, unguarded, felt her skin hum when he passed. Say something, she'd think. She never did. What if it was nothing? One night, office hushed, he leaned in her doorway. Go home. You too, she shot back, smirking over her screen. He didn't budge, hesitated, rare for him. Isabella, he said softer. Her breath hitched. A flicker, want, doubt crossed his face, then vanished. Tomorrow, he muttered, gone. She stared after him. He was fighting it. She was too. Weeks simmered, tension thick, unspoken. Diego stayed crisp in daylight, but shadows shifted. Until one night, office dead, he appeared, tie loose, sleeves up, raw. Home, she said, voice thin. You too, he echoed. Silence crackled. He stepped closer. I can't pretend anymore, he said, low, sure. Her heart stilled. His eyes held hers, conflict fading to truth. I tried keeping distance, he admitted. But I don't want it. Not with you. Walls fell. Diego, she breathed. Caution screaming, then silent. She'd fallen slow, steady, real. He smiled, relief breaking through, and reached for her. She met him halfway. They balanced it. Professional by day, electric after hours. No hiding, no clashing. Isabella proved her worth, not as his shadow, but his equal. A year later, Barcelona's skyline glittered from a rooftop restaurant. Candlelight danced. Diego's blue eyes locked on her, deep, certain. You're weird tonight, she teased, nodding at the private setup. Weird? He smirked. She laughed, then stopped. He pulled a velvet box from his jacket, opened it. A diamond gleamed. Her breath caught. Diego, marry me, he said, steady, soft. That morning you stayed, I didn't know you, but you chose me. Every day since, you've been brilliant, stubborn, kind. He grinned. I need you, Isabella. Always. Tears stung. Yes, she whispered, trembling. He stood, slipped the ring on, pulled her close. The city glowed, but their future burned brighter. Sun rose over their balcony, gold on Barcelona's streets. Her ring caught the light, his arm warm under her hand. Think we'd be here if I hadn't stopped? She asked, soft. He turned, thoughtful. Maybe. But rain or not, fate finds a way. She leaned in, smiling, happy finally fully. Kindness on a wet morning sparked a love neither saw coming, but both craved. Sacrifice, grit, chance, it led them here. From a rainy sidewalk to a sunlit balcony, Isabella and Diego's story proves one truth. Sometimes the smallest choices, stopping for a stranger, risking it all, lead to the biggest rewards. Love doesn't shout. It whispers through the chaos, waiting for you to listen. What's your take? Rate it 0, 10 below, subscribe for more, and tell us, what's worth risking for your forever? See you in the next tale.